After 2 weeks of the silent treatment with Ethan, I finally couldn't hold out and was the first to give in. I saw him holding his phone, with a smile on his face, his mood clearly much better. I couldn't help but ask, "Who is it?" He instantly exploded, throwing his phone at me, his voice icy cold. "Go ahead, check it. I dare you." Under his disdainful gaze, I tapped into his WhatsApp. Sure enough, it was just as I'd suspected. I opened the door, and the first thing I saw was the lingering smile on Ethan's lips. He said, "Okay, I understand, don't worry." His mood was clearly much better than when I had just apologized, and the lingering smile on his face made me stop in my tracks at the doorway. I knew him too well. After 5 years together, I could always guess his thoughts from his actions and expressions. Just like now. He hadn't said anything out of line. But his tone was too gentle and docile, like an irritable cat suddenly having its fur smoothed down. It was nothing like his usual self. I couldn't help but ask him, "Who were you talking to?" "What?" I wasn't sure if he hadn't heard me clearly or hadn't processed it. I asked again, "Who are you chatting with?" The gentle smile on his face gradually faded. He replied indifferently, "No one." He said, "I'm hungry. Why don't you make dinner? I'm going to take a shower." With that, he turned and went into the bathroom. He took his phone into the bathroom with him. At the dinner table, his phone pinged a few times. The moment he picked up his phone, the corners of his mouth turned slightly upwards. Ethan didn't reply, but I could feel his joyful mood. "This fish is really good. Have some more." He put a piece of fish into my bowl. His phone didn't leave his sight until after dinner. Usually, I cooked and he did the dishes. As soon as we finished eating, he couldn't wait to do the dishes. His phone was left on the table. It was a huge temptation for me. After 2 seconds of thought, I picked up the phone. His password hadn't changed, it was still my birthday. Tapping into WhatsApp, the first person listed was Lily. "Lily?" I froze. Why would it be Lily? "What are you doing?" Ethan's voice suddenly rang out from behind me. I looked up, and our eyes met. His face darkened, his gaze sharp, he walked towards me step by step. "What are you trying to find out? What exactly are you trying to find out?" "I'm asking you." Ethan snatched the phone from my hand. "Who I call, who I chat with, what does it have to do with you? Just because you're my girlfriend, do I not even have the freedom to make friends? I really don't know what you're trying to find out. What is going on in your head? Go on, check it." "I'm letting you check." He threw the phone at me. I picked up the phone and continued looking. Our chat history was still stuck on my plea for reconciliation from yesterday. But his chat with Lily was updated almost in real time. "Lily, go apologize to Summer quickly, Summer is still young." Can't she be more like you?" "Lily, if she were like me, you wouldn't like her." Ethan didn't reply. "Lily, be good, stop sulking, go on." "Lily, girls need to be coaxed. If you two don't make up soon, I'll be mad." He replied, "Okay." There was also the latest chat, which Lily must have sent during dinner just now. "Lily, Summer has such a good temper, knowing to reconcile with you. How are your partners all so good?" "Ethan, you're great, no need to compare yourself to her." "Lily, I'm not that great. Summer is confident and cheerful. Marcus always complains I'm dull and boring. Any man would probably like Summer." "Ethan, how could Marcus say that about you? You're gentle and generous, and so caring. Every time he gets drunk, aren't you right there taking care of him? He really doesn't know how good he has it. I'll have a word with him next time." I scrolled further up. They often shared trivial things and amusing anecdotes from their daily lives. Especially during the 2 weeks of the silent treatment between us, their chats were particularly frequent. I went back further. It wasn't just these 2 weeks, they had been in touch even earlier. "Enough!" Ethan roared and snatched the phone away. "Are you ever going to stop?" Ethan was furious. His intense emotions, ironically, made me calm down. I calmly asked, "What is your relationship with Lily?" He paced back and forth in the living room until he sat down on the sofa. His emotions also seemed to have settled. "There's no relationship. Marcus went on a business trip, didn't he? He asked me to look after her before he left. Does know you're taking care of his girlfriend to the point of sleeping with her?" He slammed his fist on the table, then turned his head to look at me with a sullen expression. "Do you have to speak so harshly?" My heart felt like it was being pulled by an invisible string. One end tied to me, the other to him. Every tug from him caused me pain. A friend once asked me, "How do you put up with Ethan?" They didn't understand. Ethan had a fiery temper. Even when he spoke to me, he was incredibly arrogant. He never spoke gentle words, nor was he tender. But that didn't stop me from loving him. We'd been together for 6 years. I knew what tone of voice meant he was admitting he was wrong. I also understood what expression meant he had given in. I even knew what he was like when he was tender. It didn't matter if others didn't understand, as long as I did. But now, you're telling me he also has a gentle and submissive side. Only, he's submissive to someone else, not me. What did these 5 years even mean? Ethan was a popular figure back in high school. He was good looking, and he had an arrogant personality. With just one look, he captured my heart. I began to pursue him relentlessly. With a smirk, a devil-may-care look in his eyes, he said, Summer, I don't like students who get bad grades. Ethan's grades were excellent. He consistently held the top spot in high SC. Pool, always far ahead of everyone else. Because of that one sentence from him, I studied relentlessly from dawn till dusk, forgetting to eat and sleep. I didn't have much talent for studying, and I wasn't usually very enthusiastic about it. My grades had always been below average. My parents were actually frightened by my intensity for studying during that period. Henry, is your daughter all right? My dad scratched his head. Did I scold her too harshly a few days ago? I sat at my desk, my ponytail tied high, a determined look on my face, like I was on a mission. I don't like students who get bad grades. Embracing the spirit to study like there was no tomorrow, I was determined to get Ethan. My parents thought I was traumatized and tried to get me professional help. Honey, don't be like this. Daddy's really scared when you're like this. Henry looked at me with a worried expression. I patted his shoulder. Henry, I'm going to work hard and get into a good college to repay you. Both my parents looked terrified, waving their hands frantically. No. 6 months later, we went from high school students to college students. The result of my efforts was attending college in the same city as Ethan. It was a slight regret that we weren't in the same college, but I was already very satisfied with this outcome. My parents were also very pleased, telling all our neighbors, my daughter is a genius. And why not? Without some talent, how else could my grades have improved so much all at once? After starting college, I finally got together with Ethan, just as I'd wished. Our colleges weren't far from each other, so whenever I didn't have class, I'd run to see him. Tree-lined paths, winding trails, the college campus, holding hands. These were all the scenes of dating Ethan that I had fantasized about. What are you smiling about? He asked me. My boyfriend is so handsome. He let out a low chuckle. And my ears turned red. After parting on bad terms with Ethan, I moved out of our shared apartment. Neither of us spoke to the other. My heart felt empty and hollow. After 5 years of dating, I loved him immensely. In arguments long ago, because I was the one who pursued him, there was always a slight uneasiness in my heart. Whenever a girl approached him, I would become incredibly anxious. Once, when I went to see him at college, I saw a freshman from the dance department showing him a new dance she'd learned. I angrily asked him, is it just anyone? Do you just say yes to anyone who chases you? Are you out of your mind? There are so many students with bad grades, why would I know your name? Why would I want to go to the same college as you? I knew he wasn't good at expressing himself. But when it comes to feelings, some people prefer intense displays, while others are more subtle and reserved. Yet, it doesn't mean those who can't express themselves well love any less than those who can. But now, I sent him a text message, let's break up. After that, I blocked him. It's my birthday on Sunday, are you coming? Ryan was a mutual friend of Ethan and mine, so I won't be coming. I'll have someone send a gift. Have fun, everyone. Why aren't you coming to my birthday? Do you have another guy? Embarrassed, I could only tell him the truth, Ethan and I broke up. It would be awkward for me to come. What? Our friendship isn't as important as that jerk? You've disappointed me so much. Wah, I don't love you anymore. I'll come. Is that good enough? 7 o'clock, VIP room 888 at the. Love you. I went to the mall and picked out a purple tie and a tie clip. Only a flamboyant purple could match his flamboyant personality. I opened the private room door. I basically knew everyone inside. The moment I opened the door, I saw Ethan sitting there. He was chatting with his friends. When everyone else's gaze turned towards me, he didn't move an inch. Oh, my dear Summer, you're finally here. Ryan greeted me. Ryan beckoned me inside. I chose a seat far from Ethan. The waitstaff came over, serving dishes one by one. The dishes here were quite to my liking, so I dug in. I don't know what they were talking about, but they started pulling couples to intertwine arms for a special toast. There were only 3 couples present. Oh, wait. Now there were 2. The first couple to stand up was Marcus and Lily. After the toast, Lily's face was flushed red, her eyes hazy and quite captivating. Others clamored for another round. Drink less. Ethan frowned and spoke up to stop them. All right, let's have the next couple. After intertwining arms for a special toast, this couple even shared a minute-long French kiss. Come on, next couple. Our friends playfully urged Ethan and me to stand up. He clicked his tongue impatiently, didn't get up, and looked towards Lily. Oh come on, you two, why not just meet each other halfway? You have so many years of history together. Come on, drink this, and make up. Ethan didn't say anything. Lily silently mouthed the word, go. Only then did he stand up and pick up a glass. Honestly, it was completely exasperating. I picked up my glass and, without waiting for Ethan, drank it in one gulp. Consider this drink my thanks for everyone's good intentions. Ethan and I have already broken up. There's no need. Happy birthday, I have something else to do, so I'm leaving first. You all keep having fun. I handed the gift to Ryan and left immediately. Hey, don't. Before he could finish, I deliberately closed the door, shutting out all the noise inside. They thought this breakup, like the ones before, was just empty words. Just a simple argument, a minor disagreement. After all, it was always me who eagerly went to make up in the past. They had grown accustomed to our arguments and breakups. I went to the apartment my parents bought for me before marriage. It was exquisitely decorated and fully equipped with appliances. But it lacked a lived-in feel. Ever since Ethan's apartment was renovated, I had been living there with him. I rarely came here. When they bought it, I even complained it was a waste of money. There's no need to buy it. The two apartments are so close, and Ethan has already prepared our shared apartment. Once renovated, we could move right in. It's a waste to buy another one. I pouted, clinging to Henry's arm. It would be so much better if you and Mom kept this money for yourselves. Wouldn't traveling be nicer? We just need a place to live. Henry, uncharacteristically, wore a serious expression and disagreed with my point of view. Honey, you have no family or close friends here, and your mom and I are so far away. What if you're ever mistreated and don't even have a place to stay? I grinned, no way. Ethan is very good to me, he wouldn't bully me. Except when we were in bed. Back then, I firmly believed in our love. Henry shook his head, and even Margaret agreed to buy the apartment. With their insistence, the apartment was bought. I grumbled about wasting money, thinking how much better it would be if they saved that money for their retirement or for traveling. I hated to see them work so hard. Henry handled all the renovations himself, decorating it exactly to my taste. They solemnly placed the property deed in my hands. Our daughter now has a second home. Your mom and I, at home. Before he could finish, tears started falling uncontrollably. The consequence of one person crying was all three of us crying our hearts out together. Henry, what's wrong with you? I'm just getting married, why are you being so sentimental? Sigh, I won't be able to see you whenever I want anymore. What are you talking about? We're so close. I'll come back to see you every week, don't you dare complain then. A 3-hour train ride, not too close, not too far. Thinking back, I realized that ever since I moved in with Ethan, the number of times I went home had drastically decreased. First, I didn't have much time, there were always unexpected things, and every weekend I was tied up with various commitments. Never mind, next week. It's a bit late, next week. It's rare to have time to go out, I'll go home next week. I'm too tired from work this week and just want to lie down. It can wait one more week, I'll go back next week. Second, my parents didn't think Ethan was the right man for me. He grew up in a fractured home, starved of affection. People who've rarely known love often don't know how to give it. But I, from a happy and loving family, never worried about how much love I received. As long as we loved each other, nothing else mattered. Since we were breaking up, I decided to make it a complete break. I went to the hardware store, bought a hammer, and went straight to our shared apartment. Ethan bought the apartment, but my family bought the furniture and handled the renovations inside. I packed all my belongings and threw them into the car. I decided to start with the engagement photos on the bedside table. With one swing of the hammer, the photo frame instantly shattered into pieces. The broken glass reflected my blurred face. Just like my feelings, shattered into pieces. Another swing of the hammer, smashing all the hopes I'd poured into this place to smithereens. Summer, what are you doing? Tearing the place apart, are we? Ryan walked in from the entryway, followed by Ethan and a few of his friends, all looking shocked. Ryan, who was at the front, looked like his jaw was about to drop. I calmly glanced at them, then brought the hammer down again. Ryan was about to stop me when Ethan held him back. Let her smash it. After smashing things for about 20 minutes, I was finally satisfied. During that time, he even considerately asked me, "Are you tired? Do you want to take a break?" I gave him a glare. He was insane. I was very pleased with my masterpiece, but an eyesore was standing right in front of me. "Take them off. W. Hat? Those clothes are mine. Take them off." He remained silent, then let out a cold laugh. He unbuttoned his shirt with one hand, revealing his bare torso, then unbuckled his belt and kicked off his pants. "Satisfied now?" I glanced down at him. "Your underwear, too. I bought that." His face was extremely grim. He lifted his hand, pulled off his underwear, threw it on the floor, and walked inside. I was very satisfied. But I didn't want that trash either. "Goodbye." Just as I was about to drive away, Ethan, now dressed, chased after me. "When are you coming back? You've smashed everything you wanted to, and you've made your scene." "Me? Question mark. I'm serious about breaking up. I'm not playing games with you." He looked bewildered. "No, Lily and I have absolutely nothing going on. Why can't you just get over this?" I just chatted with her a little more. Besides, she's Marcus's girlfriend. Even if I were to cheat, it wouldn't be with her. We haven't done anything inappropriate at all. Why are you so fixated on her?" I gazed at the face I had once loved so deeply. "What do you mean, I'm fixated on her? What have I done to her? If you two have nothing going on, why are you defending her so much? No, are we getting married or not? Is this over or not?" I gritted my teeth and said, word by word, "No. Marry whoever you want." With that, I drove away without looking back. I went home and packed my things. Lying in bed, I recalled every memory with Ethan. Tears silently fell. I wanted to leave more gracefully, but my body was still honest. Ethan, he was so charming. His looks, his personality, every single aspect had me wrapped around his finger. Especially that defiant and stubborn personality. I cried myself to sleep. I woke up the next day, my head heavy and foggy. The breakup affected me more deeply than I had imagined. I thought I was very nonchalant, allowing myself only one good cry before moving on to a new life. I dragged my exhausted body to the office. "Summer, yo. You need to go to the hospital. You have a fever." "What? A fever? Surely not. It's just a breakup, what's the big deal?" "Impossible, I can't have a fever. My body is as strong as an ox." "Daniel, hurry. Summer has a fever, her brain will be damaged if it gets worse. Quickly, take her to the hospital." "No, I don't need to go to the hospital." I was still protesting when everything went black, and I fell into a warm embrace. I woke up again in the hospital. "Auntie." Opening my eyes, I saw Auntie snacking on sunflower seeds. "You're finally awake, Summer." Auntie spit out a sunflower seed shell and wiped her palms on her clothes. "You scared us all to death. You just collapsed while talking. Luckily came back early and immediately took you to the hospital." "Oh, right." Everyone from the office had gone for a team building activity, and I was supposed to be one of them. But because Ethan disagreed, I didn't go. Most of the team members were male, and he thought working together was one thing, but going on a trip together was another entirely. A large group of people and just one woman. A single woman among many men. He wasn't comfortable with it and didn't agree. I had actually been really looking forward to this team building activity. I hadn't been out for fun in a long time. In the adult world, there was never enough time or money. It was a rare opportunity for a company-funded trip. Back then, I naively thought it was because Ethan loved me too much and was worried about me. His jealous look was so cute. "Haha. Auntie, thank you." I sat up to thank her. "Don't thank me. You should thank Daniel. He was the one who carried you to the hospital. I wouldn't have known what to do by myself." Auntie was our office cleaning lady. When she wasn't busy, she loved to chat and play matchmaker. She knew more about who in the office was married, who was single, or who was new than any of us. There was no one in the office she didn't know, and no piece of gossip she wasn't privy to. She was, in short, the company's walking encyclopedia. After getting in 4 drip at the hospital and picking up some medicine, I went home. Just a few boxes cost me several $100s. I ordered some takeout for myself. Normally, I love spicy food. But considering I was sick, I figured something lighter would be better. I ordered baked chicken and vegetables with a clear broth. After zoning out for 20 minutes, the doorbell rang. I thought it was the takeout, but when I opened the door, it was the 2 people I least wanted to see right now. Ethan and Lily. "What are you doing here?" I said, my face cold. Ethan looked drunk, leaning over, his head resting on Lily's shoulder. They were pressed very close together, Only when she saw me open the door did Lily pull back slightly. Ethan's drunk, and he insisted on seeing you. I've already broken up with him. Why would he want to see me? She said with a sincere expression. Ethan and I truly have nothing going on. Please stop fighting and make up already. What does it have to do with you? She choked. Summer, I'm really sorry. Ethan and I truly don't have anything going on. She came over, trying to take my hand. I pulled away, and she looked like she was about to cry. Please stay away from me. You two make me sick. Summer, don't be like this. We really. Stop talking. Please move. I tried to close the door, but she urgently stopped me. Ethan, a grown man, then fell to the ground with a thud. Ethan seemed to wake up from the fall, yet not fully, muttering to himself. I glanced at the man on the floor, then at the helpless Lily, who looked like she was about to cry. Fine, just come in. Together, they lifted Ethan onto the sofa. It's late. You should go home. Lily looked at us, wanting to say something but holding back. I went downstairs to wait for a taxi with her. In the end, she couldn't help herself and said some things like how she truly had nothing going on with Ethan, that we should be okay. Why, and that she'd feel very guilty if we broke up. I didn't respond. I watched her get into the car, then she left. Going back upstairs, I heard Ethan groaning uncomfortably on the sofa. I helped him take off his clothes, changed him into clean pajamas, and found a blanket to cover him with. The more I looked at his face, the angrier I got. I couldn't resist giving him 2 slaps. Phew, I felt much better. The next day, I was woken by the fragrant smell of cooking from outside. I looked up at the alarm clock. It was almost 11. I got dressed and went out, only to see Ethan busy in the kitchen. I knew he was an excellent cook, but he didn't enjoy it. When we were together, I would pester him to cook for me, and he'd give me a cold glance. If I want to cook, I'll cook. Don't force me. The number of times I'd eaten his cooking could be counted on one hand. Go brush your teeth and wash your face quickly. Dinner will be ready soon. I did as he said and went to the bathroom to wash up. When I came out, a full meal was already set on the table. It smelled delicious, making my mouth water. I didn't hold back and devoured 3 bowls of rice. Watching his back as he washed the dishes in the kitchen, I couldn't help but sigh. This was the life I had always dreamed of. He came out and pulled 2 tissues to wipe his hands. I've already bought the ring. When can we go try on wedding attire together? Me? ? Why was he always so presumptuous? We've already broken up. It wouldn't be appropriate for me to go to your wedding. He came over and hugged me, his hot breath burning my ear. His voice was low, laced with seduction, charm, and a hint of playful apology. My bride will only ever be you, no one else. I've already deleted Lily. Can we just let this go? You slapped me twice yesterday. You've probably cooled down, right? I pushed him away. Ethan, I'm serious about breaking up. His brows furrowed, and emotions welled up in him. Summer, I just don't understand. Why? Can't you get past this? Why? You've already hit me, and you've made a scene. I just can't get past this. Before, no matter how fierce our arguments were, they were always just between the 2 of us. This time it's different. This time, someone else is involved, and I can't get past it. Lily and I truly have nothing going on. Why won't you believe me? Just because you say there's nothing going on means there's nothing going on? Why did you apologize just because she told you to? Are you really that easy to talk to? Anyone who knew Ethan knew he had a short temper and wasn't an easy person to talk to. Even with me, his girlfriend, he often showed me no respect. Once, when I went to a karaoke bar with colleagues, she ordered a male entertainer for each of us. Halfway through a song, Ethan burst in. Get out, all of you. I tried to explain that we were just singing. Singing? You need male entertainers to sing? Do you take me for a fool? Are you that pathetic? Was I not enough for you, that you needed other men outside? Have you no shame? The barrage of questions made the blood rush to my head. My colleague whispered to me, why does your boyfriend talk like that? He's embarrassing you in front of everyone. I could only offer an awkward smile. Another time, we argued and almost broke up because I went out to dinner with a senior from my project team. It was late, and we had lost track of time while testing data. The senior offered to treat me to dinner to celebrate our success. Ethan burst into the restaurant and knocked the senior to the ground with one punch. I roared, Ethan, stop fighting. What are you doing? Ethan completely ignored me, and the 2 men wrestled each other. The senior didn't hold it against me, but he never worked on a project with me again. I often told Ethan, can you just listen to me once? Can you wait until I've explained, and please, don't be so impulsive? The answer was always, no, I can't, absolutely not. Ethan, is it so hard to admit you've fallen for someone else? To admit you've developed feelings for someone else? You don't even have that much courage, you coward. He was silent for a moment, then said, I admit I have a little bit of a soft spot for Lily, but I didn't do anything. Summer, you can't just write me off because of this. Right, you didn't do anything. So you're feeling wronged, you're upset, and you think you're giving up someone better because of an inferior person like me, and that I'm being unreasonable and making a fuss, utterly unappreciative. His breath hitched. Isn't that right? I sprang to my feet, loudly demanding, isn't it? Tell me. I didn't. Whether you did or not, it's over between us. Who gave you the right to look down on me? You can think others are good, but why do you get to think I'm not good, that I'm inferior to others? Is it because I pursued you that you think I was throwing myself at you? I didn't. Yes, you did. Go, and don't bother me anymore. In countless sleepless nights, the thought that I had shamelessly flirted and acted cute with him, while he was comparing me to others, thinking I was inferior, and constantly picking faults with me, looking for trouble. I felt suffocated. Why? Why me? Just because I loved you, I had to endure this humiliation? I could love passionately, and I could also walk away freely and confidently. I could love, and I could let go. My love is passionate, no matter who it's for. After a period of calm, I gradually emerged from the gloom, but suddenly reappeared in my life. Summer, your ex-boyfriend is here again. I ignored him, but he followed me all the way. I thought I had made myself clear enough that, knowing his personality, he wouldn't show up in front of me again. But he was like a changed man. What are you doing here? I said impatiently. His presence was seriously affecting my mood. He looked deflated, head bowed. Can't you tell? I'm trying to win you back. There's Ally no need. I walked around him. He panicked. Why is it that we're together when you say so, and we break up when you say so? Why do you get to decide everything? My car was in for maintenance, so I took an Uber. He followed me all the way home in his car. I slammed the door shut, and he stood blankly outside. I thought he would discreetly leave, but to my surprise, he was still there when I opened the door to get my takeout. He was sitting by the door, his long legs crossed, not having enough space to stretch. He looked like a large, wet, and wronged dog. He looked at me with a wronged expression, not saying a word. I held back again and again, but finally spoke, I'm just getting my takeout. We can talk in a bit. When I came back with my takeout, he was already standing at my doorway. Summer, this time, let me pursue you. Will you give me another chance? He asked cautiously, his eyes wanting to meet mine but not quite daring to. Ethan, I can pretend nothing happened. We can continue to be friends, but only friends. His eyes widened. Why? Because I can't be with someone who has humiliated me. Just thinking about those times you looked down on me makes me sick. I seriously doubt if you ever loved me. Did you ever love me? To think that when I was acting cute and flirtatious in front of you, you were silently criticizing me, thinking I wasn't as good as Lily, while I was still smiling and joking around. Would you have found me disgusting? Maybe you would have, maybe not, but it doesn't matter anymore, do you understand? Ethan, his face pale and his back hunched, left. I heard news of Ethan again through a friend. He got caught drunk driving at Westside. Not only was his driver's license revoked, but it sounds like he'll be detained, too. Really unlucky. If his kids ever want to pursue certain future career opportunities, it'll all be affected. He deserved it. How can you call that unlucky? It's just poetic justice. If he hadn't been caught, someone else would have been unlucky. Ugh, how can you say that? If it weren't for you, he wouldn't have. Oh, so it's my fault? Did I force him to drink and drive? I blocked and deleted all friends connected to Ethan, to avoid them popping up and making me sick occasionally. Auntie would occasionally come by to ask if I would get back together with him. After getting my definitive no, she immediately said she wanted to set me up with someone. My waving hands in refusal were useless. Don't you worry. The one I'm setting you up with is definitely 100 times better than your ex-boyfriend, no, 1,000 times. My nephew is absolutely wonderful. Now that you've really broken up, he has to be the first one. We were already lining him up when you hadn't broken up yet, so we can't let anyone else cut in line. As for that ex-boyfriend of yours, I could tell he wasn't any good from the start. So arrogant, what kind of guy was he? He wasn't good enough for you, absolutely not good enough. I chuckled, I knew it would come to this. Every time Ethan and I fought and nearly broke up, Auntie would always show up in time to try and set me up with her nephew. Persistent and tenacious, she was. I even admired her perseverance. With that kind of determination, she could succeed at anything. It was like the story of the boy cried. I'd said we broke up so many times that people didn't really believe it anymore. This time, I didn't refuse. We set the meeting at the coffee shop downstairs from the office. Auntie said the man in the suit with a bouquet of white roses on the table was him. I scanned the room and saw a man with a bouquet of white roses on his table. He had his back to me. His back looked tall and straight. The small coffee table made the space feel a bit cramped, and his long legs were uncomfortably curled up beneath it. I estimated he was at least 6 feet 1 inch tall. Hello, I'm the one Auntie set you up with. He turned his head, and I saw a familiar face. Daniel. I was a little incredulous. Daniel was both an employee and a shareholder of this company. Are you in the wrong seat? This table is reserved. His face held a hint of uneasiness and shyness. He glanced at me, then quickly averted his gaze. Sit. Then he lowered his head, his cheeks slightly flushed. He looked completely bashful right now. I tentatively asked, Are you Auntie's nephew? Auntie and Daniel, two people I never would have imagined, turned out to be relatives. Neither of us dared to look at the other. I looked at the coffee that had just arrived, my usual order. I quickly glanced at him. Did Auntie force you to come? Auntie is just too enthusiastic. If you're worried about explaining it to her, I can talk to her. No, it was my idea to have her introduce me to you. I was stunned. What? I've liked you for a long time. We talked for a long time that day. Auntie retired and was bored at home, so she asked Daniel to arrange a cleaning lady position for her at the office. It was called a cleaning job, but mostly she just emptied trash in the office area. Most of her time was spent wandering around and gossiping. Life was quite interesting for her. Auntie often came by our team area to chat, and when she heard about my breakup, she'd tell Daniel. Daniel, struggling with no opportunity or right to approach me, came up with the most old-fashioned method. Auntie felt for her nephew, loving someone he couldn't have, sinking deeper into a hidden crush. If things continued, he'd become an old bachelor. Finally, every cloud has a silver lining. A gentle sweetness bloomed within me, spreading throughout my body. Daniel and Ethan were two completely opposite types. Ethan was domineering, self-centered, and roguishly handsome, like a wild wind that was hard to catch. Daniel, on the other hand, was like a gentle, delicate spring, nourishing everything quietly. Daniel and I naturally got together. There was no grand confession. No flowers, I didn't care for ceremonies. But he still very earnestly prepared a confession ceremony, getting my favorite flowers and inviting all our good friends to witness it. He also wrote me a letter. I have seen birds return and cicadas sing, the scorching sun. I saw you at the horizon of my daydreams, and with you, the world brightens. You are every fantasy, every longing. I asked him, how did you come up with such cheesy lines? He rubbed my shoulder. I read it in a romance novel. I thought it suited us perfectly. I kissed his lips. How wonderful, meeting you. Daniel's extra. In school, Daniel was an unremarkable person no one paid attention to. His mind was only on things that interested him, like programming or mechanics. There was also a secret Daniel always kept hidden in his heart. That was summer. It was also during a summer. His mom signed him up for swimming lessons, hoping he'd learn to swim during the summer break. But he had little interest, loitering by the pool. His private instructor, instead of teaching him, was trying to impress his mom. Daniel watched the two not far away with indifference. He didn't know what the instructor said, but it made his mom laugh heartily. Then his mom swam towards the center of the pool, with the instructor following closely. Daniel was used to it. His parents had always been like this, playing the role of a loving couple at home, but having affairs outside. Mom and Dad, come quickly and see how awesome I am. A clear voice rang in his ear. Splash, a slender figure leaped into the pool, water splashing onto his face. Wow, our little one is amazing, she learned all by herself. The parents showered her with praise. The girl was also very proud. Handsome big brother, come swim with me. Daniel didn't move, as if he hadn't heard her voice at all. Indifferent didn't deter the girl, instead, she became more determined. She took Daniel's hand and pulled him towards the pool. Summer, the young man might not want to swim, don't pressure him. Summer's parents knew their daughter's outgoing nature and worried Daniel might feel awkward. As if drawn by that bell-like voice, Daniel, against his better judgment, followed Summer into the pool. That day was the most interesting he had ever spent. Every day after that, he looked forward to Summer's family arriving. They would bring him sushi rolls, water guns, and buy him ice cream. They would also celebrate his birthday. But before summer break ended, his mom lost interest in the instructor. He lost the promise. After that, every summer, Summer never appeared. Lily's extra, she noticed Ethan treated her differently at a party. She attended his friend's gathering as Marcus's girlfriend. Ethan had a striking appearance, she noticed him immediately. Jiangxi cuisine was typically spicy, and she couldn't handle too much spice. She kept alternating between sips of her drink and bites of food, and soon her drink was gone. Marcus and the other men were already thoroughly drunk and paid no attention to her. The spiciness intensified in her mouth, making her increasingly uncomfortable. Ugh, her forearm brushed against something cold. A can of soda. She looked up to see a handsome face, it was Ethan. Thanks. Later, she noticed Ethan's gaze was often on her. An inexplicable, unwarranted sense of vanity welled up inside her. See, even someone as beautiful and confident as Summer couldn't hold a man's heart. Ethan was not only rich but also handsome. Especially his roguishly handsome smile, it was just like a celebrity she admired. She was tempted, but it was just a fleeting temptation. She knew they weren't right for each other. But that didn't matter. Summer is so beautiful and lively, she must be liked by many. You need to be careful. Some people will covet others regardless of whether they're taken, especially bright girls like Summer. Summer doesn't do it on purpose, that's just how she is. If you stop her from making friends, she'll definitely be unhappy. And there were some hidden interactions in public, so thrilling. That feeling of excitement was irresistible. After and Summer broke up, Marcus also broke up with her. She tried desperately to keep him, but Marcus wouldn't agree. He said, I can't be with a woman who'd sleep with my brother at any moment. She was overwhelmed with shame. Although she never thought of being with Ethan, she had fantasized about them holding hands, hugging, kissing, and even sleeping together. She saw Summer again at her wedding. She was part of the staff. She never married Ethan in the end. She stood in the corner, watching Summer walk step by step toward a happier future.